It seems like Piper's Lagoon is a great gateway to connect with the nature, but are there any stories about it? What happened with those abandoned tiny houses, that sometimes when the tide is low, the nature will allow you to walk on a narrow strip of shell-covered sand, to explore that tiny little island called Shack Island. The existing cottages on the island date back to the 1930s, when residents were struggling with the Great Depression. However, Shack Island's whole history extends back a bit further. The Pacific Whaling Company established a factory at Piper's Lagoon in 1907. With the nature surrounding, the neighborhood and cabins quickly became popular among the families that resided there. However, problems began to develop in 1955. Philip J. Piper, the area's landlord, had died, and the land on which Shack Island stood had recently been sold. The Battle of the Stakes began when residents were forced to demolish or vacate their shacks and return to the municipal borders. Residents got together to prevent development as real estate developers began laying claims on the island. The battle over who would possess the island and the surrounding territory dragged on for years. Dean Finlayson, a land developer and politician, eventually purchased the area that would become known as Piper's Lagoon and Neck Point Park, along with Shack Island. He proposed a number of projects, including the development of condominiums around the neighborhood. Residents of Shack Island and their Nanaimo friends successfully resisted each plan. Finlayson eventually sold the site to build Piper's Lagoon Park in 1974. Residents of Shack Island were permitted to maintain their homes now that the region was under government surveillance. When I see the cluster of cottages out on Piper's Lagoon's waters, I always get a fanciful feeling. But that whimsy will come to an end at some point. The cabins are passed down through families and cannot be sold, and new houses cannot be constructed on the island. If one is destroyed by fire, weather, or time, it is the end of the narrative for that cabin. Until then, the homes are valued by those who own them and by wanderers like me, who often lay down on the grass, opposite those cottages, and keep staring at them for hours just to appreciate the beauty and the complex history behind that little island.